Hello, welcome to another Trove video. Today we're going to be in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's a bit of a special video actually because we're going to be talking about a free trial offer that we have for Trove Gulf of Mexico. And so I'll be sharing all the details about that at the end of the video. But we've already shared about this offer, so we've already had some response, and we are only doing it for 5 companies who will be able to get a free Trove Gulf of Mexico. So do get in touch quickly if you are interested to avoid missing out. We'll make chapter headings along the video so that you'll be able to skip straight to those details if that's what you're interested in. But we're going to be in Trove US, Gulf of Mexico. We recently did an update on the Gulf where we go through all the recent news in the region. You should be able to click there, that link, to get right to it if you missed it. But without further ado, let's crack into a demo of Trove Gulf of Mexico. So here we are in our Trove database for the Gulf of Mexico, US. And right now we're looking at the intro page. And this is where you can navigate to all different parts of the Trove database. And so we'll just start looking through a few different areas, things that may be of interest. We'll start by going under our reports section. We've got one on infrastructure. And this is a collation of useful information about the infrastructure in the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll have maps of pipelines, details on LNG facilities, and these will be from many different sources. As with all areas of Trove, these are high-resolution screenshots, and above each image is a hyperlink to where the data has come from. And as for anywhere in Trove, we've got a button in the top left-hand corner, which in this case will take us back to the intro page. Just looking at another one of these areas of collated information, we've got a stratigraphy page. This is high-level stratigraphic columns for the area, as well as some paleo plate tectonic level history. So showing lithostratic columns by a different sub-area. Back to the intro page. Another area we will look at is the regional section. This is sort of broad geological trends with a bit more emphasis on structural as opposed to just stratigraphic levels. Some great material here for, again, an overall geological understanding of the basin. Here, for example, you can see a limit of the salt with the Sigsbee escarpment. All these orange sections highlighting salt structures. We've organized this page into different segments as well. So the section is on the sedimentology, a few articles specific to Florida, a paper that's looking at the seaward dipping reflectors in the region, and some other sections are focused on the petroleum systems, basin evolution, and just a regional high-level overview. We also have a section on companies active in the Gulf. So here we have reference to companies organized alphabetically. You can see we'll have helpful comments where companies have been bought or changed names. And it shows acreage positions, and we'll have a link to the company website or where this information has come from. And you can see that there's plenty of other information in here, including links to other databases and open source information that we found, well listings and platform data. So this is also a catalog of basically all the public domain data that is available for the offshore Gulf of Mexico, the focus on the deep water and ultra deep. The next area we're going to look at is really the heart of Trove, and that's to do with our asset database, accessed by clicking on the data button. And as I said, this is the heart of Trove. This is where most of the hours have been poured into in collating an asset database. This is an incredible analog tool. It's great for getting just an overview of a field or a discovery very quickly. And so to talk you through some of the data that we've collated, You can see for each asset that we have a name, whether it's a field or a discovery, and for whatever fluid type it is, whether it's oil or gas or condensate. We also cover AKAs, so it's also known as, and this enables us to search for assets that may have changed name as they passed ownership, or if they've been redeveloped, they may be developed under a different name, or as a prospect becomes a discovery, becomes a field, they may change names at each point. And it's quite a problem for the industry, and so we cover that by having an AKA column. That means you can always find the right asset, even by looking for an old name. So here's some high-level information on what the asset is and where it is, if it's producing or not, what license it's in, when it was discovered, when it started up, how long it's been on production, some high-level comments and what the development scheme is. And then, when we can find it, we'll have information on depths and the trap type. Generally, this will include a representative depth to the reservoir horizon. Where we can find it will include stuff like oil-water contacts. Then we have a section on information about the reservoir, what age it is, what the formation names are, and then lithology, depositional environments. Some more details about the reservoir, what the porosity average is, and permeability, hydrocarbon saturation. Then moving on to details about the oil type, if it's an oil field or discovery, including API gravity, GORs, FEFs, and similarly where it's a gas field, these are all oil fields that we're looking at right now. And then further information on the reservoir, we capture the initial temperature and initial pressure, and then we capture volumetric information, the focus on stopes and recoverables, and same for gyps and recoverable gas. Then we capture information on the wells, number and type of wells. And then we have some more sort of admin data, who the operator is, what block it is, what was the discovery well, whether it's pre or post salt. We've got a latitude and a longitude column. So where we have data for these, you can pull the assets straight into a GIS system and combine it with other data sets that you have or your in-house system. And that's a quick overview of the data that we cover in the table. This is built in Microsoft Excel, so you can filter by any column. So I'll just change the filter now to be alphabetical by asset name. And then really the key thing to know about Trove at this point is that for any of these assets, we can click on the name in the far left column and we'll be taken to a montage page that basically summarizes where we got all the information for the table, and it includes information that can't be put in a table like maps and cross sections, production profiles. These are all high resolution screenshots. We can zoom in. These can be copied and pasted straight into PowerPoint presentations, or if you're making asset summaries. And we've got a link, so you can go back to the original source as long as that's still working, or you can see where we've got the data from. So these act as effectively an audit trail. And you can see in places where we've got maps, we'll highlight where the asset is located on that map generally. You can filter by asset type. You can either sort or search. You can type in here a category that you want, or tick and untick the boxes. And of course it's Excel, so you can plot the data any which way you like. And you can also use the search function, which I've brought up on a Mac by Command F, or if you're on a PC, probably Control F. Say we wanted to look at Thunder Horse. We'll just type it in here, and every reference to Thunder Horse on this sheet will be highlighted. So that's North Thunder Horse, and here is Thunder Horse itself. We'll just go into this montage page, clicking on the asset name. I'll scroll out to show the extent of the montage page. There's a very extensive one. You can see there's geology here that looks like salt diapiricism involved in this field. You can see there's production profiles, got the location on a map, and looks like information about an accident that happened with this field. So let's just dive into this montage and see what sort of information there is actually available. So first, let's look at the infrastructure story. So this article here shows that in 2005, the semi-sub platform, which was owned by BP, started listing. The rig was evacuated for Hurricane Dennis, and the almost $1 billion platform was nearly sunk. It seems to be that this is by an incorrectly plumbed 6-inch pipe, valued at just a few dollars. And it seems there were problems with welds and subsea pipes and manifolds as well, and their replacement cost 3 years worth of production delays. That could have represented another $1 billion US. Thunderhorse on a good day, and there it was on not such a good day. There it is on a bad day. Looks like it's in Mississippi Canyon. Is Thunderhorse and Thunderhorse North. With both of those assets in Trove are taken to this one page. They've been linked together. Here we are having a look at the production history. So this graph starts in December of 2007. So see about halfway through 2008, production starts, and you can see a very large ramp up, followed by a decline in production before sort of plateauing off at around this level. Green will be the oil production, and red the associated gas. So you can see oil production level by December 2023, and from about 2016, oil has been producing around 150,000 barrels of oil a day. And you can see the water cut has remained stable through much of its production. However, by 2022, end of 2021, we can see a ramp up in the water cut. Zooming in on this cross section now, it's a seismic line with interpretation put over it. Thunderhorse is described as a large turtle structure created by salt withdrawal. These are the wells for Thunderhorse. You can see reaching down to the Paleogene here, but most in Miocene, upper, middle, and lower. Very interesting salt tectonics in this region, with the lochinous salt sections making it hard to image, and shows that there's been an awful lot of movement since deposition of these horizons. More write-ups, information on the production facility, and we've collated this information from all the public sources that we can find online. Here's BP's information on Thunderhorse from their website, including an overview with lots of data on the platform. And we have similar information and montage pages for every single asset in Trove. Just clicking another. Here's Tahiti, it's another big one. Similar information with maps, geology cross-sections, structure maps, production profiles, infrastructure information, different write-ups, a bit of sort of regional setting. So Trove really is just a treasure chest of information. And then we can return to the intro page, clicking on the top left. Trove also includes analytics. Specifically, we have a dashboard. This is looking at the asset table and basically lets you dissect the data. So you can filter by any category. We've got this configured currently so that you can look at age. For example, if you're just interested in the Jurassic assets, here they are listed, and these are the parameters when you filter to show just the Jurassic. Hello again, hope you found that interesting. So just to talk through some of the details of our free trial introductory offer. This offer will expire 31st of December 2025. This is about a month left for you to be able to get this. We're only offering it to 5 companies, and we've already had some takers, so there's not many spaces left. And this is only available to companies who hold interest in the Gulf of Mexico or are seeking to enter into that basin. a 3-month free trial offer, and after that time period there will be an option to continue as a paid subscriber, of course. It's worth mentioning that Trove in this format is based in Excel, and they're very large Excel files, so you do need sort of top of the range computers to run, and opening the file does take 30 seconds or so, but once they're open they run really quick. Rapid access to information if you need to get an overview of a field quickly and what's happening in the subsurface or on the infrastructure side of things. This is the fastest way to do that, especially if you need to pull information into a presentation. We can give access via Dropbox, and there'll be a short license agreement that you'll need to sign in order to access the database. Just reach out to us at info@firstsom.com or any of the team's emails that you already have, and say you're interested in our Gulf of Mexico free trial. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this was informative, and look forward to working together in the future. Thank you very much, and bye for now.